There's really just one single thing between you and the life you know you want to live, and that's your mindset. I'm going to share one with you that changed my life immediately once I accepted it. Trust me, I know how you feel. I know you're sick of it. You're sick of knowing that you have these big goals and dreams, and yet you don't know how you're going to reach them. And it feels like you're just wasting all your potential. So ultimately, you do nothing. Because the more you think about it, all the more overwhelming and honestly impossible it all sounds. But what if I told you that it really wasn't that hard? And in reality, you can change your life as soon as tomorrow. I knew this from when I was a kid, and this mindset slipped away from me as I became comfortable and older. So in mid-2019, on a trip to Hawaii, I woke up to my legs being super swollen. I couldn't even put sandals on. My feet didn't fit. This was from frequently abusing my body with alcohol and any pleasure foods I wanted when I wanted over countless time. It was an eye-opener being only 32 years old, sitting at 5'10" and 280 pounds. Yes, 280 pounds. I decided that day I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't sit here and continue to buy my happiness to feel miserable and empty. Nobody's gonna change my life for me. I tried making this change plenty of times before, but then I fell into the same old trap as I'm sure you have. I started to overthink and I started to get overwhelmed, and I would think about how long it would take and just how much work I would actually have to put in to make a difference in my life. And if it was worth it, then I would say screw it and go out to eat and grab a drink, because why not? Continuously repeating this vicious cycle for years. But when my legs swelled up in Hawaii, I knew I had to make a change immediately. That day it dawned on me while I was staring off on how my life spiraled out of control to this level. I recall a piece of advice I was given as a kid by my dad. Maybe it was my mom, but the advice is simple. It goes, just take one step every day. When you think of your goal or a dream, don't look at the entire mountain you're about to climb. Just find where you're going to put your foot next. It doesn't need to be complicated. It's easy to get overwhelmed by overthinking. My father instilled a tremendous amount of discipline in me as a kid, and my life was going south, and I couldn't regain control. But if you just think one step at a time, it makes things a whole lot easier. And if you still need a little bit of extra motivation, just remember that the pain of doing nothing will always be worse than the pain of doing something. Because sure, taking steps can be uncomfortable and intimidating and scary, but it will always be better than the alternative, which is the slow, never-ending subconscious discomfort of remaining dormant. That will always be worse than the temporary and voluntary discomfort of making a change. That one step will lead to several, and those steps will turn from feet to eventually miles. You just gotta push the boulder until it starts to roll. Gain that momentum with each step. Maybe some days you're really just not feeling it, but you just remind yourself one foot in front of the other. What matters is that you moved forward, even if it was just a little bit. These steps add up, and before you know it, you'll be able to see the top of that mountain just a little bit clearer than before. This changed my life immediately that day to get back on track while I was off on this stare. While I'm talking about this, it is August 30th, 2024, and well, it's been 5 years now that I have consistently put one foot in front of the other every day. I currently weigh 186.3 pounds and feel and look the best I've ever felt. My life in the last 5 years has completely changed and continues to change for the better in all ways with that simple concept of putting one foot in front of the other. I lost roughly 100 pounds in 6 months. From the pictures I'm sharing on the screen somewhere that are also time-stamped. The pictures of the whiteboard where I have the weight loss check-ins, I already lost a lot of water weight since I started that day in Hawaii by only consuming fresh pressed green juices from a local spot, and I continue to do that for the rest of the trip. So that's why it doesn't say 280 pounds as my starting weight. Just want to clarify that, but I was actually 282 pounds in Hawaii. Crazy. All you have to do is just keep reminding yourself to put one foot in front of the other each day and every day. Every day you do this, no matter what your goal is, you will learn and get stronger and stronger and make more progress. It's the only outcome of doing this continuously. These steps and small wins will give purpose with each day, and you will slowly but surely move forward. But you must change your life in order to change your life. Think about that. It all starts with that small change of putting one foot in front of the other every day, and eventually you'll realize that you've made a bigger change than you could have ever imagined. I want you to understand something important on how you look at discipline. I had and continue to have discipline. My father raised me with extreme discipline, but I looked at discipline as a whole wrong. It slipped away from me for a while, but understand this, discipline is nothing but self-respect at the highest level. So here's a hard pill to swallow. Your lack of discipline is nothing but a lack of self-respect. I lacked discipline with food and alcohol, which I disrespected myself with. If you want to build discipline, don't focus on building discipline. Focus on building self-respect. And discipline will come as a byproduct. Discipline is doing the right thing for you and your goals. Regardless of how you feel, and if you respected yourself enough, you would make the right choices. You would say no to instant gratification and yes to delayed gratification. You would sit down at your desk or look at yourself honestly in the mirror and work on the things to progress your life forward in the way you want, out of respect for yourself, no matter how much you don't want to. You would go to the gym, train with intensity, challenge your soul, and eat clean. You would do the things you need to do regardless of how you feel in that moment. If you don't, it's because you don't respect yourself, your ambition, or what you know is right. The secret to discipline isn't shouting affirmations and making elaborate morning routines or visualizing success. Even though those serve a part, it's about respecting yourself enough to do what you know you need to do regardless of how you feel in that moment. It's about sticking to your word and doing what you say you will do. It's about knowing what needs to be done and doing it, even when you don't want to. It's about controlling your instant pleasures and doing what you know is right for you, your family, business, and your goals. Discipline is nothing but self-respect at the highest level. Remember, it all starts with that small change of putting one foot in front of the other every day. And eventually you'll realize that you've made a bigger change than you could have ever imagined. I'm here to help you learn, grow, and become the best version of yourself by leading by example. If I can do it, you can do it as well. How bad do you want it? Thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll check you next time.